So today we are talking about a serious topic on cybersecurity. Mekonnen, in terms of trends and what you've seen maybe in the past couple of years, this year, for example, there's been the entry of security co-pilot, and then there's been the increase in AI knowledge, AI use. What do you see coming in 2024 and maybe in more years to come?
Yeah. Well, before we talk about what is coming, I think it's probably good to talk about what are the challenges. What are really the challenges that we have currently? One of the biggest challenges that we have is really sifting through the volume of data that we're dealing with. For example, I think the last I checked, Microsoft deals with over 70 trillion security signals every 24 hours. 70 trillion, I think, 65, 70, or it's increasing every day, right? So how many people are you going to need to sift through this noise and find the signals that are indicating something so that you can take action? That has been really one of the biggest challenges, sifting through this noise. Right, as I said earlier, the volume.
Yes.
And then the second challenge that you have is really finding skilled people who can actually work in the security space. That has been also the challenge.
As we continue to discuss security matters, more so cybersecurity, I'm joined by my colleagues. On my right, I have Sean Wasonga, our Senior Product Manager in Security Solutions. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you.
And on my left, we have Joylynn Kirui, who is our Senior Security Cloud Advocate. Welcome, Joylynn.
Asante.
Good. Given what Sean is talking about with digitization and the increase of the threats, how is the developer community keeping up with that?
Oh yes, definitely we have to keep up. There's a lot that we have to keep up with. So definitely all of us have to have a security first mindset, including the developers. I personally usually regard developers as a first line of defense because they know what they are putting into the application. They know when it's not secure. And they have to know what they are introducing within the code base as well. So we have some components called like third-party components, which if you're not sure of what you're bringing within your code base, you might be introducing security vulnerabilities within your system. So yes, developers have to do threat modeling. They have to know which vectors can be used to compromise their systems, how they can be able to build more secure and strong systems as well, and how to make it very hard for attackers to compromise their systems. So let me just say, a system is never 100% secure. There's no system that's 100% secure for sure. So all we want to do is to make it very hard for attackers, what we call security in-depth, putting layers and layers of security to make it very hard for them to compromise your application.
What are some of the features and capabilities of Microsoft security solutions?
That's a great question. You know, one of the key things I like stating, even when I'm talking to customers, is Microsoft is one of the highest targeted organizations from an attack security perspective. From a numbers perspective, we actually collate over 65 trillion security signals on a daily basis. And we use that in terms of bringing in that knowledge directly in towards our products, right? And what do I mean by this? We talked about the fact that there are different areas from a security perspective, whether it's SIEM and SOAR, endpoint security, IoT security, threat intelligence. Joylynn talked about AI security. We have different products across that overall landscape that are focused towards our customers to not only help them detect, but also prevent and protect the organization from these threat actors and these threats that are constantly being identified. On top of that, we're actually allowing our customers, or rather enabling our customers from an education perspective. We have widely known MS Learn documentation that takes our customers from a beginner to an advanced stage to not only enable them to use our products and be more effective, but also enable them to be a bit better in terms of how they leverage and improve their overall security posture and management. I believe we'll be sharing some links in this video, and we'll be attaching them towards the viewers who'll be watching this. But trust, we're doing a lot, and we're here to guide you through this journey.
From a personal level and maybe from an organizational level, what are the things that we should really put top of mind where security is concerned?
Yeah. Well, I think organizations just, I know it's an overused cliche, but organizations just need to take care of the fundamentals, right? The basic things that you need to do. Make sure your systems are up to date and current. Make sure they are being monitored for all kinds of security activities. And make sure you have enough people to take care of these security situations. Take care of your patching, making sure your systems are current, make sure to monitor and take action on your security events. I think those are the kind of things that they need to do.
I don't know, have you ever received a phone call and then someone is like, have you received a code? Maybe you can read out the code. Yeah, so there's something like social engineering. So that's the biggest thing as well around like user awareness. You need to know the attack types that we're using nowadays to get access to your data, to get access to your social media. And on top of that, you have to make sure that you are multi-factor authentication enabled across all your accounts, be it social media accounts.
What do you mean by multi-factor authentication?
You use Instagram, right? You use Facebook, X, or whatever. All of them, they have within their settings, you can be able to add two-factor authentication. I think if you go to settings and then profile, you should be able to add that setting on top of that. So what happens is you put your password, and then it will also send like a one-time passcode to your phone, and then now you input that just to verify that it's you.
So it's just adding yet another layer of security. Okay.
Yes.
And it is advisable that for most of us from a personal level, we need to have that multi-factor authentication.
Not unless you want to be hacked. So.
Not at all. Not at all. Sean, anything to add?
I'll just add and use one statement, which is zero trust policy. Just assume that people are trying to target you any specific time.
Do not trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody, right? And remember, it goes towards the aspects of you putting in place the multi-factor authentication across your devices, across your machine. And the beauty with the advancements of technology, like if you have these phones, you're able to do face recognition or even fingerprint recognition as that second layer of authentication. But then it also comes on a personal level. Let's not have all our passwords written on a sticky note on our desk, or let's not even aspects of even leaving your machine open, always lock it, or just have an aspect where you're ensuring no one has access to your environment. Don't share your bank account, credit cards online. It's that aspect, zero trust. Ensure that you yourself your data is actually secure. Remember, data is the currency.
You can add on top of that.
Of course you can.
So I'm sure most of us have social media accounts,
Yes.
And you post like you have just come from picking my child from this school.
Yes.
My child has just turned 4 years on this day. You're giving a lot of information, personal information. My mom's maiden name. You're just putting a lot of information there. Because remember, like for financial accounts, they usually also ask like a third question, like what is your mother's maiden name?
Yes.
And we are making it so easy for attackers to actually compromise us because you're giving too much information out there.
I've seen something on Instagram where when you actually think about it, they're asking those security questions, and it makes it look like it's a game.
It's a trend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I guess when you talk about the zero trust policy, where do not trust anyone or do not trust any moving trend, I guess the onus is on us to be really vigilant on how much information we are putting out there that then can be used against us.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank you too for gracing this edition of Sema na ADC, and to ask our viewers, stay safe. It's not safe out there. Keep your passwords to yourself, keep your data to yourself, and ensure that you're not putting yourself out there to be vulnerable. And for our customers to reach out to us, there are various ways that we can ensure that your environments are always safe.